Hello guys, it's kind of late, but I'm going to try to get through this. So, this video is on ECON09 module. It is for the literature review for this module. Yeah. Now this video doesn't apply to everyone, okay? So if you don't do ECON09, you don't need to watch this, it's all good. For the people who do ECON09, I'm just going to go through how I did mine, maybe some things that you guys might need to know, and hopefully I could be of help. Once again, disclaimer, I may not be right, okay? I'm still a student, okay? I still may not do everything perfectly, alright? So don't take my word as gospel. Okay. Right, so for a literature review, you need to essentially get the studies that we've got here. Here we've got 3 studies on the topics of immigration, and 2 studies on education inputs and outputs. Okay, you'll have to cover all of these studies, not just one, all of them. Okay, a literature review covers multiple pieces of literature at once, and you have to talk about all of them. Okay, because you can see here, you've got on the assigned articles, so it's multiple. So you can, for a literature review, look up ways of just writing it. If it's an unfamiliar thing to you, then you may want to look up how to really write a literature review properly. It's pretty difficult for someone who hasn't done it before, so feel free to just sort of take your time with it. Okay? So, first of all, with a literature review, as you can sort of see with mine, you want to kind of break it down by what you're covering in each bit. Here, I've covered each study by each study. Actually, I should also mention the word count. For the first draft, the one you guys probably will be submitting soon, the word count is 500 words. That's the limit. Okay? Now, I've gone slightly under 485 for this one. Okay? So that works. Alright? Now, you can notice here that the final draft requires 300 words. That doesn't mean you have to write 300 words right now. Okay? As we can also see here, the first draft is due in midday on Thursday, but the final submission is due in next Tuesday. Okay? So you have a big gap to edit down what you've written. Okay? As well as this, you have this opportunity as well that you can get feedback on that with the peer review, and then you can slim it down. Okay? Remember, you're not going to get something perfect the first time. Okay? Nobody really does. Okay? By putting out what you can do and then getting critique, it's easier to critique more words than it is less. Okay? Write up to the 500 limit and then cut it down later. Okay? You'll get more critique that way, and you'll get a better literature review at the end. That's how you do it. So, yeah, as you can see here, you'll get feedback from your paper from your tutor and your peers on the 28th. You will then have 4 days to edit before it's due, and then it will be marked. There you go. So now, how do we write a literature review? So, to write a proper literature review, you need to discuss each of the studies by themselves, first of all. Okay, so here I've discussed Boyas 1995 on the proposal of a positive model of immigration and how immigration populations, if they differ quite a lot from the native population, that can have a positive economic effect. Okay, I'd also like to show you guys, what is it? Is that it? No, that's another thing. Here it is. Okay, I did a plan on everything I could do. So I've got my basic notes here. I've got some quotes from them. This is my first draft. Okay, it was a bit disorganized. I read it over again, making points of what I read, and then I made my second draft. Okay? What you want to do is to think about, well, am I really being to the point? Okay? A lot of literature reviews fail because they're too rambly. Okay? People go over and over the same point and they don't get to the point. Okay? You want to be short and you want to be exact. Alright? So what I said here is just like, it proposes a model, it says this is the main finding, this is also another finding, and then I've moved on. Alright? To the next one. Like CARD 1990. I must say I do want to slim this down a little, but then again I'll leave that for the peer review. This is just my first draft for now. Okay? So you want to, we're discussing as well in cards, what happened in, what is the study about, what is its main points, possibly some weaknesses as well, We've also got the study from 2005 determining UK skill distributions of immigrants and stating what this study is telling us. Okay. Now, importantly, you're going to need to evaluate them. Okay. A literature review doesn't just state what the studies are; it needs to expand on them. Okay. You need to be analytical about what the studies are, what they're telling you, what you could get from this. Okay. Here, I'm seeing that all the studies are US and UK based, which to me indicates that, okay, it's very much based on maybe Western ideas of immigration or how only those particular countries work. It won't be applicable. This is the main thing. I'm also seeing that none of the studies are actually providing any a sufficient basis for any of their claims. The first one is providing a model that is not properly backed up by evidence, at least not enough to prove the model is correct. And the other two are stating that there is no change. It is not stating a directional effect. So if we had a directional effect, something like this influx of immigrants caused income in the area to go up or go down, then we could either prove or disprove the model. But we have no way of knowing because there's no change perceived. Okay, this could mean that the skill level is matching. Okay, because you can see this study mentions that the skill level in Miami is generally an unskilled industries area, and this states that you've got, and it says the immigrants are unskilled as well, which is a bit weird because they didn't mention why they're unskilled, but that's fine. And this one's stating that the skill distribution of immigrants is similar to natives in the UK. This supports the idea that sort of when it's the same, there's no effect in the first model, but it doesn't prove that if it's less or more than, there's going to be a positive effect. Okay, so there isn't sufficient evidence to prove the model from Boyas 1995 is valid, at least to my knowledge. Yeah, and there's also, what else was it? Yeah, informal labour markets. So these are studying labour markets on a formal level, so employment through general means. Immigrants, when entering a country, may be employed informally. Okay, so it may be just cash-in-hand employment. So you may want to consider that in a study like this, whereas in a lot of these studies, they're not considering that. So we have to say that that's somewhat of a limitation here. Okay, now, anything else? You may want to make sure that you're being, paragraphs basically as well. Make sure your points don't blend into other paragraphs. Generally, you want to have your point in one paragraph and then another point, okay? Make sure your ideas are separated out because it's easier to read, okay? If I start mentioning another idea in the last line of the first paragraph, okay, and then continue it in the second paragraph, it feels disjointed, right? Sort of like someone's cut something at the wrong angle, okay? So you've got to separate it out neatly, okay? Having one big paragraph isn't going to cut it. You may also want to write in a more formal manner, okay? You want to write sort of talking about studies a bit more formally. I don't know if that's you guys are used to that, but it's important to make it, well, it's important to make it sound valid, mostly because, most people, when reading something that's analytical, they're probably not going to trust you if it's written in sort of like an offhanded manner. So you want to be straight to the point and you want to be formal about it. I think that's everything, really. There isn't much room for me to give advice on this, other than what I found. I'll include a link to my one in here. You do not copy, okay? Copying constitutes academic misconduct, and you could be quite badly, taken for it. So don't copy my thing. Don't do it. Okay, I think that's everything. Yeah, all right. Hopefully you guys have a nice time writing, if you haven't already. I'm sure a lot of you have, but this is for those who haven't. Yeah, good luck, and I hope you guys do well. Bye.